Here we go. We're back. Second day in a row. We're doing this daily. That's what it's called, daily. So let's begin with some pretty exciting news for Arsenal and kind of how end, young developing players. This is big. Here we go. Miles Lewis Skelly signs a new deal. Now, I don't know the specifics of it. I'm assuming he was on a pretty high paying contract for the amount of first team games he got in his first academy contract. So I'm assuming he got a pretty solid pay raise here. I mean, if I were Berta and I was looking at the numbers that he put in last year and the importance of a player he was for us, when Calafiori's out, Zinchenko wasn't playing well, so Arteta didn't trust him as much. I would say he's earning probably closer to six figures, maybe 90, 80K a week. That's kind of what I would assume. And I hope so. I think he deserves it. He's a great player, and he did so much for us last year. That PSG game, it's really stepped up. I'm trying to think of obviously, he got two red cards. You can say he lacks discipline, but again, as the basic Arsenal fan, I'm going to blame the referees there because we all know Michael Oliver is a little corrupt. So I think that played into it more than we think. But no, he was a great player for us last year, and this is great news and a great way to start your day. Seeing this, and it just shows that we're getting things done. We're tidying up our books and our wage structures, and we're getting things done. We're bringing in the people that we need, and we're getting rid of the people that we don't. We'll talk about it, and I think that Lewis Skelly staying and signing a new contract, which we all knew he was going to. I mean, he's Arsenal through and through. We've given him so much, and there was always obviously those rumors that Real Madrid fans were spreading of him joining Real Madrid, and that's just not true, and that would never have been true. But I think this is a good opportunity now that with Partey leaving, that Miles Lewis Skelly is going to step in to the midfield, and that will really come to fruition when we sign Hato from Ajax. And I think when we do, then that frees up the left side. Then we have Calafiori, Hato as our left backs. It's great. And he's a left-footed center back too, so that's a Gabriel replacement. It's exactly what we need. Now, what does that mean? Is Kivior going to leave? Maybe. But I really don't think we should get rid of Kivior either. I think it's okay that we have so much defensive squad depth because defense wins championships, and we are able to develop defenders at a rapid rate. Now, I don't know if Arteta is, obviously he was a great center mid, but I don't know where he gets this defensive mindset from. Maybe it was under Pep, but Pep isn't really a defensive guy. Like he's good at holding the ball. He's a possession guy. That's the way his system works. You pass around the 18-yard box until you find the perfect pass and cut it across to Haaland or whoever's up top for them. That's what we've seen. And that's kind of the inspiration where Arteta gets it from, because when he was working under him. But where did this defensive mentality come from? Seriously, because we sign a lot of defensive players, which I don't have an issue with, because I think it's important that we have that kind of depth when it matters the most. We have great goalies now coming in. Kepa's about to get announced. We have David Raya, who's 2 years in a row has been the Golden Glove winner. That's exactly what we need. And we had Ramsdale. Ramsdale was a great keeper for us. I at the time, I didn't see why we needed to have David Raya and Ramsdale, but I completely understand now. David Raya picked up where Ramsdale could not. His ball playing technique is superb. He's able to play out of the back. He can handle the pressure, and he makes some insane saves. That's exactly what we need. Aaron Ramsdale did the same thing. He was really good at making saves, but his ball playing technique was not good enough. We needed basically a midfielder in goal, and that's what David Raya is. I honestly believe that. I think you take the gloves off him, he's able to play in the midfield. He can play alongside Declan Rice and Zubamendi and all of them now. He's that technical. That's how good he is. I would trust him in the midfield. So, like I was saying, though, this definitely frees up an opportunity for Lewis Skelly to be working into the midfield if we sign Hato. Now, moving on. Ornstein drops this bomb on us. Wow. It's not the most exciting bomb. Again, 2 days in a row, not the most exciting bombs. Nordgaard and now Mascara, like the makeup. I think, though, this is a good option as well. But are we really going to bring in Mascara and Hato? That's the question. Do we need both? Personally, I did just say I like defensive signings, and I do. Do we really need two young center backs? And I can't remember if he's left or right-footed. If he's right-footed, then yes, sure. That's a good Saliba, backup right there, and he can develop. But again, we have Ben White and Timber. I think Ben White is great on the overlap, but Ben White was a center back as well. He can step in for Saliba, and he did, and he can. Now, we are progressing as a club, big time. Think about it, 3 years ago, this is Rob Holding we're talking about, stepping in for Saliba when he got hurt. And I think that was the pivotal point in the year that we bottled it, for lack of better words. We bottled it, and now we are progressing. We're bringing in young, solid. I'm assuming. I mean, if we're targeting him, he's got to be at least a solid player. I haven't watched the Liga, and I know very little about this guy. But again, I from what I'm hearing this is a good signing. And sure, it could be. I need to do my own research on it, but I do believe, this is a good sign. We're bringing in young players as backups. They can develop. Because there's going to be a day Gabriel leaves. There's going to be a day Saliba leaves. We need players working behind the scenes so that we can just fill those gaps. That's what's more important. We're bringing in this young squad depth. We are becoming an older team. I mean, Declan Rice, I believe, is 26. Marino, 28, 29. Nordgaard now, 31. Kepa, 30s. Something around there. Odegaard, 26. Havertz, 26. You bring in Gyökeres, 26. Martinelli, 24. Saka, 23. Around there. We're aging as a team. We are. And that's okay, though. Because some of these players, I feel like, haven't even hit their prime yet. And we're still developing them and making them better and better every day. So, bringing in this young squad depth is crucial for the next generation of defenders, of midfielders. People are... we have Max Dowman coming in through the academy right now, and he's going to get some first team minutes this year. That's huge. Now, wouldn't it be better if he develops alongside Zubamendi and Nordgaard and Marino and Odegaard? Those are experienced players, very experienced. There was the interview last year with Odegaard and Nweri talking about how it was like growing up in these academies. Odegaard was a young prospect at Real Madrid, and he kind of had a weird career until, he found a new home in Arsenal. And now we've kind of given him his platform where he can be creative, be that game breaker. But Max Dowman's going to learn in so much of he's going to have a better opportunity learning from those guys. Max Dowman's already showcasing experience at 15 years old. It's crazy. That's a generational talent that we're bringing in again. That's 3 now, that we're going to have in the first team. That's incredible. That's exactly what we need. We need these younger guys to learn and develop from our first team. That way, when we do start winning trophies, because I believe it can happen this year, that they understand that experience. They know what it takes to get to that level. Now, this is for the future of the club. And, people can say what they want, but this is for the future. And people are mad, we're not signing, strikers right now. That's okay. Take your time. It takes time. It takes months. The window's 3 months for a reason. I mean, you get all your business done now. What are we going to do? Then for the rest of the summer, sure, we're taking breaks and we're practicing together. You're building the squad chemistry, yeah, but there's market opportunities that are going to arise in August. And you do all your business in June, you're missing out on some great opportunities. Is it a gamble? Yes, of course. That is a gamble. And I think last year with Edu, we kind of took that gamble. We took that risk. And it did not pay off. We signed Sterling on the last day, which was hands down probably one of the worst signings I've ever experienced. I don't know why we did that to ourselves. He literally did nothing. He was useless for us. Useless. He scored 2 goals, and it was against League One sides, like in the Carabao Cup. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't even make a penalty, which he's not one of our players anymore, so I can talk badly about him. So I just think, we're taking this transfer window slowly but surely, and it's a good thing. Now we're picking up some speed, though. We've gotten 2 Ornstein bombs in 2 days. We're going for younger guy, or not younger guys. Norgard's 31, but we're going for some squad depth. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. And how many injuries did we have last year where we need this stuff? We really need some squad depth right now. It's important. It's important for everything. All right, let's see here. I think I want to talk about this. Here we go. Like I said, younger squad depth. This is what we were going for. We were going for Guame, and he was, like it says, he was on the list to replace Thomas Partey. Do you really want to replace an older guy with an unexperienced younger guy? Probably not. We want to replace Thomas Partey with Zubimendi. Zubimendi's an experienced guy. He's a class player. And we want to replace Jorginho with another Jorginho-esque player, Norgard. That's good. We did not need a younger guy coming through the ranks again. We have Max Dowman coming through. That's good. We're going to move Miles Lewis-Skelly to midfield. That's good. Uguame would have kind of just slowed that process down of us seeing Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield. And, you look at Miles's ball carrying. He's good at pressing and pushing the ball up the field. That's exactly what we need in that midfield. I've never seen Uguame play. I've seen clips, nothing crazy, but he's a young kid, a young guy that needs to be developed. And I think that Lewis Skelly has that Premier League. He played in a Champions League semifinal at 18 years old. That's what we need. We need that experience in the midfield. Not Uguame, who's with a team that finished 16th this year in Sevilla. They had a terrible year. Was he their best player? Probably. He was, I think, the highest foot mob rating on that team this year, at a 7.12, which that's great for a team that finished that low in the table this year. That's great. And I think that he's a player that maybe we should put tabs on and not really go for right now. I don't think we need to go for him right now. And I think that we made the right decision here by going for Norgard, because we get a Prem proven, experienced, and a leader. That's what we needed. We needed a leader on the bench, and we needed an experienced guy. I think that helps. People, Norgard, is that going to help us go from second to first? Yeah, it will. It really will, because we get more leaders on this team. And Mikel Arteta is doing, he's building this team for experience and for leadership. I mean, you can look at every single guy in the pitch and say, there's a leader. Declan Rice probably should be our captain. I think Odegaard's still a good captain. He's a good player, and he kind of runs, the attack. So yeah, he runs the press. Like, he's really good at orchestrating the team while on the pitch. Declan Rice, though, is a workhorse. It's what kind of leader do you want? And I do think Odegaard matches Mikel Arteta's leadership style a little bit more than Declan Rice, but it's not for me to say that Declan Rice is not a good leader, because he clearly is. I mean, every single time the players are down, the camera cuts to him. He's talking and he's lifting the team back up. That's exactly what we need. So, and who's to say Norgard can't do the same, and especially be a leader for these younger guys. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what Sterling was last year. I mean, you always saw reports. I mean, maybe this is the best thing that Sterling did for us, but you saw reports saying, like, Nweri and Lewis Skelly and all the younger guys were kind of attaching themselves to Sterling and asking for experience and stuff. Like, who knows if that stuff's true? I mean, I believe it. I think Sterling could have been that guy in the locker room for them, but it's players like those that you do need to help progress the team's maturity, confidence, probably. Like, you need those players. And I'll say it again, this is a good one. And then we have this Kepa. He's gonna announce soon, 48 hours. I would actually kind of not like it if he got announced before Zubimendi. I feel like we've been teased all year since January, since like that the Zubimendi saga has been going on. Real Madrid tried to steal him from us, so they say. I thought we signed him back in January. Apparently not. I don't know. So I hope we do an announcement for Zubimendi before we announce Kepa, or do it at the same time. They're both Spaniards. They're both, I don't know. They're great signings. I really do believe that, and I think Kepa's honestly a bargain. I mean, 20 million euros for Kepa and Norgard. That's 2 squad depth players that we got for the price of Ugame, for the price of probably Mascara. I mean, I was assuming he's probably going for a little bit more just because of, whatever the tax of it, of going from La Liga to Premier League, and Valencia's, they're a little bit more in financial, good financial standing right now. So they're not going to be eager to sell, or they don't really need it right now. So, but Sevilla, I'm pretty sure is going through a little bit of a pickle. But yeah, I mean, it's looking good for us. I think this is a good start. It's almost July, a good month. I think this is a good way to end the month of June in the transfer market. We're bringing in 3 good guys that are going to add attributes that this team does lack, and they're going to help replace some of the things we lost. I do believe that. So, but yeah, there we go. That's kind of all I had for us today, and I'm going to wrap it up here by saying, be patient. Strikers are going to come. We're going to make these good signings. So I think it's good that we stay patient, and I can sense some unrest within the community. I don't think there's a need to be unrest. I think Berta knows what he's doing, and I trust Arsenal make the right decisions, which is crazy because I don't know why, but I just have that feeling that we're going to do something pretty big this summer, and we're going to push for next year.